I almost quit, not once, but more than once. I almost packed up everything that I was building, closed every single social media account, and deleted every piece of content that I had on the internet and walked away from all of it. And the thing that almost pushed me out the door, it was not even the hard work. It was the culture around the hard work, the hustle culture. And today I want to talk about what it actually did to me and why I think that it is doing the same thing to a lot of you. When I started trying to build something online, I was really hungry to learn. And I came from a background in tech, so I knew how to work hard already. I knew how to figure things out. So working hard was never the question. But building something in the online coaching and consulting space, that was completely new territory to me. And so I did what anyone does when they are new to something. I started learning from the voices in the space. And back then, those voices were very loud about one thing. If you are not grinding, you are not serious. If you are not posting every single day, you do not want it badly enough. If you are not making a certain amount of money, then what you have, it is not a business, it is just an expensive hobby. And I heard that message so many times from so many different directions that I started to believe it. So I did exactly what these people were saying that they did. I pushed harder. I stayed up later. I produced more, and I learned more systems. And I also bought more courses. I followed more formulas, and the more I did, the more lost I felt. And here's what nobody in the hustle culture space prepared me for. I am a mom, and a huge percentage of the loudest voices I was learning from, they were not mothers. They were actually child-free by choice and living a life that really reflected that choice. No school pickups, no sick days that were not their own, no one needing dinner at 6 p.m., no permission slips, no school extracurricular activity, no homework, no someone else who needed them before they could get to their own goals. And look, I want to be very clear. I have absolutely no problem with women who chose not to have children. That is fully a valid choice. My problem was something completely different. My problem was the way that some of them talked about motherhood. When they were supposed to be teaching me business, children were framed as a hindrance. Children were framed as a financial burden, as the reason that you could not move fast enough. Children were framed as the thing standing between you and your success. And I'm sitting there, a mom, and I'm doing my absolute best trying to build something real between the school runs and the homework and the bedtime routines. And the people that I was trying to learn from, they were low key telling me that my child was the problem in my business. Do you know what that does to a mother? I chose motherhood fully. I chose motherhood consciously. And I would not trade it for anything. But I was already doubting myself as a builder in the online business space. And now I was picking up a quiet message that the thing that I loved most in my life, it was the reason that I was falling behind. That added weight to the doubt that I cannot fully put that into words. And then there was the rest of it, the hustle culture noise that just wore me down, the messaging that if you are not posting every single day, then the algorithm will forget you. The constant pressure to have several funnels, email sequence, lead magnet, tripwire. I'm not saying that those things are not important. They are. But I feel that as a mother, you really have to pace yourself, especially if you don't have a nanny or you cannot afford a nanny yet. There was also a pressure to have a presence in every single platform, all at the same time. And if you're not doing all of it, you are basically leaving money on the table. Let me say this again. I am a mom with one child. And at the time when I started, my child was a toddler. I could not keep up. So I told myself that the thing that hustle culture wanted me to tell myself, that I was the problem, that I did not want it badly enough, that other people were making it work, so something must be wrong with me. And it was that story that I was telling myself, combined with the exhaustion, combined with the doubt that I was already feeling, combined with the quiet message that my child was a liability. That almost broke me. And I got very close to walking away from all of it. And here's what saved me. I just stopped listening to people who did not look like my life. And I just started looking for someone who did. And thankfully, I found a mom who had not one child, but she had 4 children. And she was building and continued to build a successful online business. She's someone who's showing up consistently, grinding herself into the ground, not posting every single day, not pretending that her children did not exist. She's just building, and she's building in a way that fit her actual life. And when I saw that, something in me exhaled, because for the first time, I saw proof that it was possible, not in spite of being a mom, but while being a mom. And the problem, I realized, was never me. The problem was the blueprint at the time that I was trying to follow. And that blueprint was never drawn for someone like me. And here is the bigger realization that came with that. Hustle culture is not just exhausting, it is dishonest. It sells you a version of success that was designed around a very specific kind of life. A life with unlimited time, a life with unlimited energy, and a life where no one else is depending on you. No cultural weight on your shoulder, no immigrant story for some of them, and no motherhood. And sometimes even no history of carrying things quietly. And then it hands you that blueprint to every woman, regardless of what her actual life looks like. And it tells her, if this does not work for you, you are the problem. That is not a success system. That is a shame system. And I refused to keep paying into it. So I made a decision and I stopped trying to build someone else's business in my life. And I started building my own business in the actual life that I am living right now, with the time that I actually had, with the energy I actually had, with the season I was actually in. And for me, that is a mom season, a mommy season, an immigrant woman season, a building from scratch season, a building and starting over at 50 season. And I stopped apologizing for any of it. So here's what I want you to walk away with today. If hustle culture has made you feel like you are behind, I want you to ask yourself one question. Whose timeline are you behind? Because the timeline you are measuring yourself against, it was probably built by someone whose life looks absolutely nothing like yours. So you are not behind. You are building in a completely different lane with different responsibilities, with different weight on your back. And you are doing it anyways. And that is not failure. That is not an expensive hobby. That is actually remarkable. And I want to say something to the moms specifically. Your child is not the reason that you cannot build something. Your child is part of the reason that you are building it. The drive to create something stable, something that cannot be taken away by a layoff, something that gives you the freedom to show up for your family on your own terms. That is not separate from motherhood. That is motherhood. And do not let anyone, no matter how many followers they have, no matter how much money that they tell you that they are making, tell you otherwise. And here is my personal lesson. The moment that I stopped trying to build like someone whose life looked nothing like mine and started building in a way that actually fit my life, everything changed. And not because I found some secret strategy and not because I finally cracked the famous algorithm, but because I stopped fighting against my own life and I started working with my life. With an amazing child, with a story that did not fit any of their templates, with 20 years of experience, with everything that I had been through. That life was not the obstacle. It was the whole point. So, I'm Webley. I am a launch and funnel strategist. I am the proud mom of an amazing boy and someone who also almost quit. And I am very glad that she did not. And if this video spoke to something you have been feeling, hit subscribe, because this is the kind of honest conversation that I want to have on my channel every single day and every single week. And drop a comment below while you're at it and tell me one thing that hustle culture made you believe about yourself. And that thing you realize that it turned out not to be true. I read every single comment and I will see you in the next video.